Hello anime lovers, welcome to the AniFlare Anime Explained channel. Today we are starting a brand new anime called Sakamoto Days. So, let's get started. In episode 1, we meet our main character Sakamoto Taro. Sakamoto used to be a hitman, a contract killer, who was feared by every gangster and admired by every aspiring hitman. At the start, we see Sakamoto is surrounded by several people who want to attack him, but Sakamoto uses his incredible skills to defeat them one by one without any trouble. He takes down everyone effortlessly. We also get to know more about Sakamoto's past. He was once the legendary hitman, and every gangster was afraid of him. But one day, in a shop saw a girl and he fell in love with her, and then he decided to leave his hitman life behind. Then he got married to girl, and they even had a daughter. Now Sakamoto has gained some weight, and now he runs a small shop, and living a peaceful life. One day a young boy comes to Sakamoto's shop looking for him. At the same time, Sakamoto notices another child who often visits his store. While watching the child, an ink bottle falls from the boy's bag and dirties a man's white pants. The man gets angry, and he picks up the boy from his collar and is about to punch him. Suddenly, Sakamoto stops the man by grabbing his hand, and then he stabbed the man into his neck with a pencil. But in reality, it was just his imagination. However, Sakamoto doesn't actually hurt him, and the man leaves the shop. The boy who came looking for Sakamoto witnesses all of this and realizes that Sakamoto thought about using the pencil to kill the man. Shin, the boy who came looking for Sakamoto, is also a hitman. He has a special power. He can read minds. People call him a psychic. When Sakamoto thinks about slapping him, Shin gets scared and quickly introduces himself. He says, "I'm Shin. I used to work under you." They both sit outside, and Shin remarks, "So, you really left everything to work in a small shop." Shin wants Sakamoto to return to his old hitman life, but Sakamoto thinks to himself, "My hitman days are over." Shin, hearing his thoughts, says, "You were a legend. Every gangster feared you. How could you just leave that life behind?" Sakamoto doesn't reply and continues eating his noodles. Shin looks at him and says, "You've gained so much weight I can hardly recognize you." While saying this, he lights a cigarette, but Sakamoto, moving faster than lightning, cuts the cigarette in half with his chopsticks. He points to a no smoking sign. Seeing this speed, Shin realizes that even though Sakamoto is overweight now, he is still just as dangerous. If he wanted, Sakamoto could easily kill him. Just then, a delivery man arrives with a package for Sakamoto. He also asks for Sakamoto's help with cutting down a tree. Shin begins to suspect that Sakamoto might still secretly be a hitman while pretending to live a normal life. But Sakamoto is simply helping with small tasks for people in the town. Kids and elders alike love him. Watching this, Shin gets angry and says, "You've lost your respect in my eyes." Frustrated, Shin sits in his car, thinking about how it's been 5 years since he last saw Sakamoto. Even with his weight gain, Sakamoto still has the same aura. Shin wishes he could work with him again. Suddenly, Shin's boss calls and asks, "Did you convince Sakamoto to return?" Shin says, "No." The boss replies, "Then kill him. No one leaves our gang and lives. That's our rule. If Shin doesn't do it, someone else will." Shin was sent to kill Sakamoto, but is a huge fan of his and doesn't want to do it. After thinking for a while, Shin decides he has no choice. If Sakamoto must die, it should be by his hand. The next morning, Shin goes back to Sakamoto's shop. Sakamoto's wife greets him and says, "You were here yesterday, right?" Shin doesn't respond. He attaches a silencer to his gun and enters the shop. Shin tells Sakamoto, "I'm leaving town today, so I came to say goodbye." Then, he fires his gun at Sakamoto, but Sakamoto spits out a candy he was chewing, and it hits the bullet, changing its direction. And then Sakamoto throws an ice cream at Shin to distracting him, and disappears. Shin tries to read Sakamoto's mind but can't. Suddenly, Sakamoto appears behind him and kicks him hard in the face, sending him flying. Shin falls to the ground thinking, "What was I even thinking, trying to fight Sakamoto?" And then, he faints. When Shin wakes up, he finds himself in Sakamoto's home, which is located above his shop. He's invited to dinner with Sakamoto's family. Confused, Shin wonders why Sakamoto brought him here. Could the food be poisoned? But after eating, he feels fine, and the food tastes amazing. It had been a long time since Shin had eaten a proper homemade meal, and he couldn't remember the last time something made him so happy. He realizes that this simple joy must be why Sakamoto left his hitman life behind. After dinner, Shin thanks Sakamoto and prepares to leave. Before he goes, Sakamoto shows him a board with, "Thank you, come again," written on it. Shin returns to his gang, where his boss scolds him for not killing Sakamoto. Bowing his head, Shin pleads, "Let Sakamoto live. He's happy with his family." Hearing this, everyone laughs. The boss says, "Sakamoto broke the rules of our world. He turned his back on his responsibilities. We must kill him." Shin, determined to protect Sakamoto, says, "Then kill me instead, but let him live." The boss agrees but secretly thinks, "What a fool. Why should I honor his request?" Shin reads his boss's mind and realizes the betrayal. He quickly points a gun at his boss, and a fight breaks out. Meanwhile, Sakamoto, sitting in his shop, hears everything through a secret listening device. Pressing a button, Sakamoto reveals a hidden arsenal of weapons in his shop. However, he picks up just one taser gun and heads out. Back at the gang's hideout, Shin is using his mind-reading ability to evade attacks. Though someone fires a bazooka at him, he narrowly escapes. However, his bullets run out, and he is cornered by 3 gang members who are about to kill him. Just then, Sakamoto arrives and shocks them with his taser. Both Shin and the boss are shocked to see him there. The gang members now turn their attention to Sakamoto, ready to attack. Armed with only 2 chopsticks, Sakamoto takes them all down with incredible speed and skill. He even catches bullets mid-air with the chopsticks and uses them to fight back. Despite his size, Sakamoto moves like lightning, defeating everyone. The boss orders his men to shoot Sakamoto together, but Sakamoto dodges the bullets, breaks their guns, and knocks them all out. Finally, he takes down the boss as well. Shin, amazed by what he just witnessed, realizes Sakamoto is still the legendary hitman he once was. He asks Sakamoto how he knew where to find him. Sakamoto reveals that when Shin was unconscious, he planted a tracker in his gun. Shin prepares to leave town, as promised, but Sakamoto hands him a store uniform and says, "You'll earn $1,000 an hour, with extra pay for overtime." In other words, Sakamoto offers Shin a job at his shop. Surprised but happy, Shin accepts the offer, officially becoming a part of Sakamoto's new life. The next day, Shin starts working with Sakamoto at his shop. He notices that most of the ramen cups on the shelves are empty because Sakamoto himself has eaten them. Using his mind-reading ability, Shin helps customers find exactly what they need. Sakamoto's wife and daughter like Shin a lot. A young boy from the neighborhood invites Shin to come outside and play, but Shin politely declines, saying that his shift isn't over yet. Shin thinks to himself that this job is much better than his previous one. The boy then asks him what he used to do before working here. Hearing this, Sakamoto thinks to himself, "If you tell him the truth, I'll kill you." Reading Sakamoto's thoughts, Shin nervously replies, "I used to work in cleaning." In the next scene, Shin praises Sakamoto, saying, "Even after retirement, you're still so dangerous. You took down all those thugs so easily." Sakamoto, annoyed, thinks, "Just get back to work already." But Shin continues, "You defeated them all in just one swift move." Despite his complaints, now Sakamoto's wife, whose name is Ioi, overhears the conversation. She asks Sakamoto if he has started working as a hitman again. Sakamoto nervously denies it. Shin says, "But you killed all those people." Sakamoto replies that he didn't kill anyone, he just seriously injured them. Aoi, now angry, threatens Sakamoto that if he does anything bad or breaks the family rules, she will divorce him. This frightens Sakamoto even more. After Aoi leaves, Shin asks what the family rules are. Sakamoto, annoyed, considers hitting him with a pencil and tells him to keep his mouth shut. Later, Sakamoto takes Shin to Nikita Chinatown to pick up some supplies for his shop. However, Shin realizes that Sakamoto came all the way here just to buy some buns that his family loves. Shin asks again about the family rules, but Sakamoto refuses to answer. Since Shin can read minds, Sakamoto avoids speaking to him directly and instead communicates mentally, which Shin finds amusing. On their way back, a girl suddenly crashes through a window and falls on Sakamoto, causing his buns to drop on the ground. Some men are chasing the girl, but she gets ready to fight them. Her name is revealed to be Mystery Girl Lu Xiaotong. Shin suggests they leave, but Sakamoto is too upset about his ruined buns. The thugs attack Lu, but she defeats them all using Tai Chi martial arts. Shin notices her impressive skills. A bald man grabs Lu from behind, and the other thugs attempt to stab her. However, Sakamoto catches the knife with a spoon and breaks it, then knocks the man out with a single punch. Shin also knocks out the bald man by hitting him with a brick. One of the thugs pulls out a gun, but Lu disarms and beats him up too. Suddenly more thugs arrive. They think Lu is part of a gang and want to capture her. Sakamoto picks up Lu and runs away with her and Shin. The thugs fail to catch them. The thugs return to their boss and report that they lost the girl and that 2 men helped her escape. The boss scolds them, saying they killed her entire clan while trying to find her, yet still lost her. One thug apologizes, but another man sneaks up and slits his throat. The man turns to his brother and says, "Look, he's still trying to breathe." These 2 men are twin brothers, Sonhee and Bacho, and both are extremely dangerous. The boss orders them to find the girl at all costs because she has a key. This key is crucial for controlling the black market. The boss instructs them to eliminate anyone who gets in their way. Meanwhile, Shin discovers that Lu is the daughter of a mafia family called the Lu clan. The thugs are after her because she has a key to a hidden vault that her parents entrusted to her before they died. Shin asks Lu why she doesn't just throw the key away since it's so dangerous. Lu explains that her parents died protecting this key, and if she gives it to the thugs, she won't be able to face them in the afterlife. Lu tells them this is her problem and tries to leave, but Sakamoto asks if she knows how to make buns. Lu replies that her father taught her. Shin tells Sakamoto they should avoid getting involved, as Lu seems like trouble. However, Sakamoto decides to cancel his shopping plans and protect Lu. He says if they manage to get her home safely, she will have to make buns for them. Before Lu can respond, Bacho suddenly appears and kicks Sakamoto hard, sending him flying into a building. The twins, Sonhee and Bacho, have already arrived. Lu explains to Shin that these 2 are twin brothers and professional hitmen. They charge a lot of money but never leave their target alive. They are serial killers who enjoy killing people. These people are insane, and their hobby is cutting off their victims' heads and drawing their sketches. Hearing this, Bacho says, "We've become famous," to which Sonhee replies, "We are hitmen. People shouldn't know too much about us." Just then, Shin comes to kill Sonhee, but Sonhee grabs his hand and asks, "Are you angry because we killed your friend?" Shin replies, "You think he's dead? You are such a fool. Only a rookie hitman wouldn't know about Sakamoto." Bacho now goes after Lu and tries to kill her, but Sakamoto arrives and knocks him out with one punch, breaking the floor beneath them. Sonhee asks Sakamoto, "Who are you?" To which Sakamoto replies, "Beans are tasty too." They had fallen through the floor into a kitchen. Sonhee tells Lu, "Give us the key and we'll give you an easy death." Lu replies, "This is the last memory of my parents. I'll never give it to you." Sonhee laughs and says, "Your parents said the same thing before I killed them." Hearing this, Lu gets angry and tries to attack them, but Sakamoto pulls her back. Shin explains to Lu that she shouldn't make decisions in anger. Lu tells him, "That vault contains everything about my family. These scumbags killed my parents for it." Sonhee throws a knife at Lu, but Sakamoto catches it. Sonhee tells Sakamoto, "Don't interfere in our work." Lu, however, can't understand why Sakamoto is risking his life to save her. We now see a flashback. Sakamoto brings a gift for Ioi, but his face is covered in blood. Ioi realizes he has just killed someone, and says she doesn't want a gift earned through blood. Ioi tells him that if he can't leave his bad deeds behind, they cannot stay together. She then jumps off the roof. Sakamoto jumps after her, catches her, and they both land on the snow unharmed. Aoi asks, "If I had died, would you have missed me? Is that why you jumped?" This feeling is called love. Aoi makes Sakamoto promise never to kill anyone again. This becomes their rule, to save lives instead of taking them. Shin sees this flashback through Sakamoto's mind and realizes that their family rule is never to kill anyone. The 2 brothers now attack Sakamoto, who fights them with just a spoon and a chopstick. Despite their efforts, they can't hurt him. The brothers then use their cast iron technique to attack Sakamoto together, but he dodges every attack. At one point, he pulls a muscle, and Shin helps by putting a band-aid on it. Sonhee is surprised, thinking, no one has ever survived this attack, yet Sakamoto doesn't even have a scratch. They decide to use an even more dangerous technique, but Sakamoto hits Bacho on the head with a pot and breaks Sonhee's weapon. Sonhee tries to go after Lu, but Shin reads his mind and pulls him back. Sakamoto then knocks out Sonhee by throwing a fridge at him. Shin ties up the unconscious brothers with a rope. Lu asks, "Who are you two?" Sakamoto replies, "We work at a shop." Meanwhile, their boss is angry, wondering why Sonhee and Bacho haven't returned. The treasure-filled vault is right in front of him, but he needs the key to open it. Just then, Sakamoto and Shin bring the tied-up brothers to him. The boss is confused about how they got inside. Lu sneaks up behind him and holds a knife to his neck. The boss starts crying and apologizing. Lu doesn't kill him, but beats him up badly and says, "It's not necessary to kill people for everything. We should forget the past and live a happy life. That's what my dad always said." Lu then uses the key to open the vault. Inside, there is treasure along with books, CDs, and toys. One book explains that the head of the Lookland family must keep their most precious item in this vault. Different heads have left different items here. Lu's father had left a drink, which he wanted to share with her when she grew up. Sakamoto then brings out some steamed buns he had kept, which were crushed but still tasty. The three of them eat together. The next day, Lu starts working at Sakamoto's shop, where she plans to make pork buns. Shin says, "But you have such a big treasure." Lu replies, "I'm not going to use my family's heirlooms." Sakamoto tells Shin, "Now that you are part of our family, you must follow the family rule. We don't kill anyone." Meanwhile, we see a meeting where it's revealed that there's a bounty on Sakamoto's head. Whoever kills him will get 1 billion yen. Here's the video ends. I hope you like the video and don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel.